guys, today we're going to do rates, unit rates, tables, and coordinate graphs. So the other day we did rates, unit rates, and the table, and today we're going to be adding in the graph. So go ahead and do those first 3 warm-up questions, and then come back and watch the next part of that video. So for this is kind of explaining the relationship between the table, the graph, and the rates. So if you look, you have your input-output table, if that kind of helps you see it a little bit. Your input is your X and your output is your Y. So if I input 1, I get out 60. If I input 2, I get out 120. 3, 180, 4, 240. So over here has our ordered pairs, okay? So remember, ordered pairs are your X and your Y to help you graph. So our ordered pairs are 1, 60. Remember, X comes before Y. Okay, so our ordered pair is 160, 2, 120, 3, 180, 4, 240, okay? So every time our unit rate is 60 miles per hour. So our equation is Y equals 60X. 60 is our unit rate. So for other situations, you'll always set it up as Y equals unit rate X. So here our unit rate is 60. And it's going to be a linear graph because it's going to make a straight line. So if you notice, they graphed 160, 2, 120, 3, 180, 4, 240, and then they connected them and made it into a line. So it is a linear graph with our input and our output table. So remember, we have to know how to do the table, the graph, and the equation, okay? So the table, just like on the left, the graph on the graph, obviously, and our Y equals 60X. Again, will change depending on whatever your unit rate is. So there's a little song, a Y, an equal sign, a unit rate times X. You can always sing that. I always remember it as just Y equals unit rate X. And then right here, you just fill in your unit rate. Y equals unit rate X. Y, an equal sign, a unit rate times X. So let's look at this first one. If it costs $8 for 2 gallons, okay? So we want to figure out what the unit price is, okay? So let's think about our unit rate. If we have $8 for 2 gallons, how much is it going to be for 1 gallon? Okay, so it is going to be 8 divided by 2, which is $4 for 1 gallon. So our equation is Y equals unit rate X. So let's think about what's our unit rate for 1 gallon is $4. Okay, so for $2, they said it was 8. So Y equals 4 times 2, because we're doing it for 2. So that equals 8, and our ordered pair is going to be 2, 8. Okay, so we're going to do Y equals 4 times 4. Why am I doing 4 times 4? Well, our unit rate is 4, and then right now we're doing it for 4. So 4 times 4 is $16, and our ordered pair is going to be 4, 16. Then for 6, we're going to do Y equals 4 times 6, which is 24. So ordered pair is 6, 24. 8 is going to be Y equals 4 times 8, which is 32. So then we have 8, 32. So let's go ahead and do our graph. Remember, our equation is Y equals 4X, so that's important. Now we've got our table with our ordered pairs. So let's go ahead and let's graph it. Picking a different color. So let's go ahead and do our first one. Well, we knew our unit rate was for 1 would be 4. For 2 was 8. For 4 was 16. For 6 was 24. And for 8 is 32. Remember, you have to go on your X and then your Y. So you need to go over and then you'll need to go up. Okay, you got to walk before you can rise. You need to take your fire truck to the fire and then put up your ladder. So because it's a line, we need to start and connect our points. We need our arrows on either end because no matter what direction you're going to go, it's going to keep going. Okay, so that is what your graph should look like. Make sure you've got the arrows. So now the last question says, predict what the cost is for 25 gallons. So we're going to take our same equation, y equals 4x, and for x, we're going to plug in 25. So y equals 4 times 25. We do this to the side, which is 20. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 10. So it is going to be $100. So if I kept going and along the bottom for gallons and I got all the way to 25, it would go all the way up to 100. So 25 goes with 100. Make sure you have all of that filled in on your paper, and then we're going to do the next one. Pause if you need to make sure you have it filled in. Just go ahead and pause. So let's look at the next one. We're going to look at this table. They already gave us our table, and they say, what's our unit rate? Well, again, unit rate is how much it is for 1. So our unit rate is $15 per hour. What's our equation? Remember, y equals unit rate x. So if my unit rate's 15, it's going to be y equals 15x. And then how much is it going to be for 6? Well, let's plug it in. So y equals 15. Instead of x, we're going to multiply it by 6. 15 times 6 is going to be $90 for 6 hours. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph this. Well, our table is pretty much done. So 1 goes with 15, and that's going to be halfway between 10 and 20. 2 goes with 30. 3 goes with 45, halfway between 45 and 50. 4 goes with 60. And so forth and so forth. And we also knew that 6 goes with 90. So I'm going to go ahead and plot that one too. And again, we got to connect our points and make sure we draw an arrow on either end. And I hope you have that all filled in. Go ahead and pause it and then flip your paper over and do the back and then check the key